Mayegun làwa mọ̀, àmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun ti dé o.
Good evening to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from where, good morning to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Mayegun Live.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Please take your time, read the caption of the broadcast, and then you can make your own contribution as well accordingly. So I will, deliver my own part. From your own side, what you have to do first, right, is this: like that broadcast, share it. And if this is your first time of joining us, maybe follow and subscribe.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
My friends in Abuja, if you are watching me from Abuja, tonight, your own contribution is going to be of a great value to this conversation. In the last few days, the countries who have their own missions in Nigeria, United States of America, United Kingdom, that's the UK. Hang on. Okay. There's something I need to quickly fix. I think the video sort of kind of blinking, isn't it? I'm going to ask you to give me a minute. I will be back.
It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. She off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Mayegun don come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, man of the. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Thank you. So let me know if the video has stopped blinking like that before we fully get into this. But share the broadcast.
Mayegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun.
Thank you very much for joining me.
Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀.
I think it is manageable now. Some of these things are actually due for replacement. They are quite expensive to just let go like that. And they are actually very expensive as well, to replace. But don't worry, we'll be fine, at least for now. So if the audio acts up anytime, let me know as well. So the caption for this broadcast is, what is going on in Abuja? Of course, we know what is going on in Abuja, but sometimes people living inside Abuja themselves, they kind of see some of these things as news. Oh, I didn't know that. Like if I ask some of you who live in Abuja right now, that did you know that there was an operation in an estate, at an estate in Abuja today, where you had the DSS, you had the American intelligence team, where they invaded. Should I use that word invade? No, that word invade looks like aggressive or something like that. Whatever. They carried out a covert operation in an estate in Abuja today, and it was terror related. So what they did is that they arrested the two people and they picked bomb making equipment or materials from that estate in Abuja today. But days back, United States and the United Kingdom raised the alarm and said they have it on a very, very reliable authority that there is a potential terrorist attack in Abuja in the next coming days. Usually, the foreign missions in Nigeria, they will send out warnings to their own nationals, not their own citizens, and say, don't go to this part, don't go to that part. Be careful when you go to, that stuff for their citizens, where they should go or should not go in Nigeria. But this particular warning has nothing to do with just where they should go or not go. It is actually the evacuation alerts granted by more than 6 countries now. They are Canada, United States, United Kingdom, Republic of Ireland, and 2 others. I can't quickly recollect right now. But when they raised the alarm, typical of Nigeria or Nigeria system, Layamo responded and he said they are raising these alarms to embarrass Boko Haram. That, of course, there is terrorists, there's this or that, but that doesn't mean that they should start evacuating their citizens from Nigeria. Usually those warnings comes before election or maybe few days to elections. They will say, hey, citizens of the US, citizens of America, all these places, you should leave now because their election could turn violent and they could start anything, right? But this one is happening months before your election. So Layamo came out and he said there is no cause for alarm. However, some people saw them as their diplomats and everybody is moving away. So we'll come back to that Abuja. A clip that, or let me say clips that some of you probably have seen of social media, but for the diary, for our own record. So this was captured earlier today. Check this out.
They're actually living. Diplomats. They are diplomats. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are living.
It's just to Nigerians or Nigerian authorities, right? Well, it is normal now. If they feel unsafe, that is their own cup of tea. This is Nigeria, nothing they shock us here. But they are warning, they are real warning. I'm glad to, when I got the news that they raided, that's the word, raided. So they raided an estate in Abuja where they arrested 2 people in that estate. At the same time, the materials, bomb-making materials, were also recovered. And they said it was through the intelligence of these same Americans. Something that is already causing a bit of, it's impossible. Why would American soldiers come to Nigeria? They have always been in Nigeria. Do you get that now? However, in that Abuja, they said their targets are government buildings, schools, worship centers like mosques, churches, and areas where people are like in large numbers. And they are not sparing all these foreign missions as well because they are considered as public buildings and government buildings of their countries. So, for 7 years, while insecurity escalated in Nigeria, while the killings skyrocketed, the APC Egbekegbe members, they continue to brag that there has not been any single bomb in Abuja in 7 years. So, with what is going on, and nobody is going to give the real answers, I will give you a scope into what is going on. We'll do it together. You know, most of these things are actually public. And when people begin to act like, when did that happen? Oh, I am so surprised. Don't be. Because many of us are always going to see this coming anyway. Not because we wish that evil or, evil things happen or the terrorists have the upper hand. It is because while the terrorists are spreading the fear through all mediums, right? The government of Nigeria is doing absolute nothing to actually end it. Do you get that now? I mean, they have no plan to even punish any of the terrorists. So, just a few months back, Kuje prison was attacked and over 400 terrorist leaders were freed and they were released back into the society. Their identities are unknown. So is their whereabouts. You can't say. But somehow, just after, a few hours after Kuje prison break, some of those who escaped from there appeared in the same location where they were keeping the Abuja Kaduna rail passengers. They stay kidnapped in March. And we have already been told in 2014, 2015, when Boko Haram nominated Boko Haram to be their own spokesperson, the man that will be the negotiator between them and the government of Goodluck Egbere Jolantan, we said the only way that they could have possibly hold Nigeria to this, hold Nigeria in the jugular this much is when they are able to sustain the campaign of terror. So it was like just one option available for you in 2015. You give them power, you face the terror, and they own it. That yes, we brought you the terror. You refuse us the power, we unleash the terror on you, and you regret for not letting us own the terror. So they own the terror. And in 7 years, more people were killed, more people were kidnapped, and more communities were ransacked and destroyed. And more land and areas are now controlled by these terrorists. That is their effort in 7 years. So conspiracy theorists, you can begin to now pair them together now that their terror cells are now being reactivated in 2 ways. A northerner is likely going to lose that power. I use the word likely. And it is always better to remind all of you what brought APC Egbekegbe back to power, which is terror on its own. So there are 2 types of terrorists who are trying to take over Abuja. Okay? The first set who have been trying for the past 12 years, if we say from 2010, for the past 12 years, those are the faction of Alhaji Shekau, right? Then when APC, Egbekegbe, came into power 7 years ago, they created a new version or faction, and they called them Islamic State for West African Province, ISWAP, of Nigeria, with their allegiance to ISIL, and their mission is one, which is Nigeria must be the Islamic capital of entire Africa or the world or wherever the agenda is. Nigeria must be Islamized. All of you infidels, from north to east to west to everywhere. That's the agenda of Boko Haram. And you have to end what do you call it, the Western education, the advancement of it. Then ISWAP, same thing, but more brutal. In their own, there is more. You have to implement the Sharia law all over Nigeria, something that is so huge, more than their forefather terrorist Usman Danfodio. It's a dream, a challenge that was too big for him until he died. So this terrorist, this armed terrorist, for 12, 13 years now, their agenda was to make Nigeria Islamic. Don't forget that, although you have told yourself it's completely impossible, because many of you thought that their mission can only be possible if they take over the government with the force and the terror, and then decide to force everybody to follow their Islam and all that. Abi? But what you're mistaken is that those who are harmed are not those who needed that power. It's those who are sponsoring them. Boko Haram is one of them. And many of those sympathizers in the APC, Egbekegbe as a party, and then the Boko Haram government as a government. So indirectly, the flags that you think that they will conquer Abuja after bombing everywhere, they will conquer Abuja and put the flag inside their asshole rock. Well, the flag is inside the asshole rock, and it was there displayed by Boko Haram and the Buratai the butcher. So the bottom line is that those who are killing and murdering people in the name of that Boko Haram Islam, there are those sponsoring them who are now in power, more protected. And these guys are just like always available army. The army they can unleash anytime. The second terrorizing Nigeria from northern Nigeria is the Fulani terrorism. Fulani armed terrorists who have taken refuge inside different parts of Nigeria forest, in the southern part of Nigeria, even in the middle beltern part of Nigeria, not even in the northern part of Nigeria. These armed Fulani terrorists are celebrities. They are government contractors in some parts. They are working as vigilantes, providing security for the same people that they have terrorized, or they are terrorizing because they have a deal with the government there. But in the other parts of of Nigeria, they are demanding for land. Do you understand that? They are demanding for land, and Boko Haram's government, has been doing everything possible for 7 years to ensure that that comes to pass. That's the second terrorism they unleashed on us in 7 years. So back to Abuja. Those who knows wherever they are, because as it is, put it this way, even if the Boko Haram terrorists, even if they shoot down Abuja in the next few days, as America is warning right now, let's say they shoot down Abuja and they take over Asshole Rock as the government of Nigeria, how are they going to then command the rest of Nigeria to follow them or what have you? But the bottom line is not because they want Boko Haram to take over Abuja. It is that, again, to you, the conspiracy theorist, your conspiracy theory is going to make some certain sense here as well. If you follow me here, we know that in 7 years, they have taken Nigeria from top to bottom on every level. Abi, the insecurity has gone from bad to worse. Everything has gone from frying pan to fire. And in the last 7 years, the characters that did this to Nigeria or still doing it to Nigeria, they have names, they have faces, because they believe they have immunity to get away from all the crimes, including financial crimes. Do you understand that now? I'm talking about if Nigeria was to be a country, a real place, right now where you have real people, I'm talking about people who understand what these guys have done to them, what they have done to you, to all of us. If you understand it very well, yeah? Every member of APC, Egbekegbe, who is serving inside the Bukwari's government, they should all be tried for treason. You know what that means? That means treasonable felony for what the damages they have done to Nigeria that will never recover. Nigeria will never recover from this, right? They contributed to the economic wreck. They legalized their corruption. They relooted their returned loot. They turned their guns on the citizens. And they aided and abetted the terrorists by pardoning them using your own money to feed them while they what? They trample on the blood of those they killed and spilled. Now that should be treasonable felony against the people of Nigeria generally. But it is Nigeria. Crime is legal. It just depends on which side of the coin you belong to. So, conspiracy theorists, they brought Nigeria to a state whereby you are not even sure if you are going to have an election. The 8 years that their bogus law allowed them to use simply means who will give them the immunity from the crimes they have committed if they begin to ask them to come and answer for all their crimes. There must be cover up, and there must be those who will cover this up. And if there will be nobody to cover this up for us, I mean, we can return to status quo. We used to be the fear of any sensible person who wants to lead Nigeria. Once you remember that if you touch us, we will unleash this beast on you. Now, what does that simply mean, right? Half of Nigeria right now, northeast, northwest, north central, southeast, southwest, south-south, which is the Niger Delta, there is no part of this 6 geopolitical zone that is not experiencing incessant insecurity or restlessness here and there, communal attacks that has rendered people homeless, or this particular one, flood, that has also wreaked even terrible havoc on different communities that has made them more homeless as well. Are you with me? The terrorists that they have created, put it that way, the terrorism that they have created has made it even more easier for them to say, your constitution says if there is crisis in any part of Nigeria, that will make it impossible for the government or INEC to conduct an election. The president of Nigeria through your Attorney General of Nigeria, Malamu, they will write to the National Assembly for an extension, including an extension of office of the president, while every other offices will cease. And they have to review this every 6 months to be sure they can conduct election or not. So they have thrown Nigeria into serious security crisis everywhere. They have. And that's enough for them to say no election. Do you know that? Do you know that? Well, they will not dare you. Aha, I like that. I'm just telling you that in this Nigeria, which they deliberately made so, they have all different options. And for one reason only, the desperation, their desperation to cover up for all the crimes they have committed in 7 years. Like I said, they have mortgaged the lives of even the children, generation unborn, as we speak. That if you have to probe them and ask them for every penny, everything that they have dipped their hands in, you will agree with me. Majority of them, if not all of them, will end up in the gallows. You know what I mean? They will be charged for treason, for the crimes they have committed against you, the crimes they have committed against their own different oath. But it is Nigeria, so they can always have a pass. So they are now saying that, okay, it be like, say, if we have to now do the elections, or more, it seems that it's going to be between the Southerners. As it be, Atifku, ladies and gentlemen, is almost out of the whole thing. Share you with me? And there are many parameters towards that, which I don't want to go into. So what if Tifnumbu become your president? What if Obi become your president? That's a Southerner. So what would he actually be reminded of, that this is Nigeria and this is not Lagos? This is Nigeria, this is not Anambra. Or this is Nigeria, this is not Ondo, if Showore become your president. So there must be something that will always remind you that wherever you think you have, then you have more to deal with in case if you come for us. 400 terrorists escaped. There's no effort that they are looking for them. Don't even think they are looking. You know, if they are looking for them, you have all their pictures everywhere now, on your TV, everywhere. And people will be warned. Look at this guy, he's a Boko Haram leader. This one is a Boko Haram leader. This one is a Boko Haram. Nobody knows them. They are mixing with you. The other day, somebody sent a video to me. In that video, there was this Hausa guy, and he was being tortured. I can't share that video. It's going to go against their social media, you know, whatever guidelines, as they always say, right? But some of you probably have seen that video. It was sent to me on WhatsApp, right? The guy was being tortured, and he was talking about his crime partner, or his partner in crime. And he said, the guy live in Lagos. Said, how do you meet? He said, I don't know where he live in Lagos, but whenever we want to meet, we talk on the phone. He come to me, he brings the gun. We keep the guns with him. They were doing kidnappings in Ogun State. Do you understand that now? So he said that somebody in Lagos is keeping the gun. Terrorists entered Ondo State. We don't even know why. We don't know what happened. We don't know what made, well, probably we do, because Ondo State said they are going after Fulani terrorists. Then ISWAP, who are not Fulani, ISWAP terrorists, who are mostly Kanuris, Hausa, and the rest of them. They suddenly, what? They entered the Ondo State and killed more than 80 people, innocent people. And they claim responsibility for it. So they are now in Yoruba land. So these terrorists and this cell are not just there because you and I, we have a sin, or we sinned against God, or sin against something that some people might want to let you know. It is because this is APC, Egbekegbe, the terrorists who were once bombing and kidnapping school children 7, 8, 9 years ago. Their sponsor are now in power. And now it seems that they are about to lose that power. The reality is dawning on them that somebody is going to eventually ask questions. Somebody. Then for you never to have anyone to ask that questions, or having to dig anything up at all, even if we have to do everything to continue this, there's a lot at play. So let's begin to bring them up. So maybe that is what America remember. They remember that when the terrorists were bombing the United Nations building, Abuja, bombing churches, they still probably have all the pictures and their intel and how that happened. And today, they probably know as well that the prime suspect in that Madala bombing, Abuja, the prime suspect, Kabiru Shokoto, is now a father of 3. Somebody that is standing trial for killing over 100 people. The Christmas carol service. He killed over 80 people or more. Yeah. The guy was arrested, standing trial for act of terrorism. Boko Haram and gang, they released him. We raised the alarm. Well, first they said he escaped. Guess where they found him? They found him in the governor's quarters, I mean the governor's lodge, Borno State Governor's Lodge, Abuja, and they were looking for him for months. But he's there. Guess who was the governor then? The person who is now the deputy or vice president to Kolu, to Tifnumbu, the man that is likely going to be your president if anything should happen to Kolu. Do you understand that now? So they found Kabiru Shokoto inside the governor's lodge. That is a Borno State Governor's Lodge, Abuja, for months. Until when they felt like, okay, Bill, I said, no, it's too much now. They now told them, come and take him, he's here. And that's it. Now, that Kabiru Shokoto is now father of 3. He got married after that. He gave birth to the first child, second child, third child. He married 2 wives in this whole process. But the families who lost their loved ones back then, I don't think any of them has probably recovered till now. Do you get that? So the terrorists that they brought, who have now escaped, you don't know them. You can't identify them. You don't know if they're going to be your next Okada rider. You don't know if they're going to be the next taxi rider. You don't know if they're going to be the next bus rider. You don't even know if it's going to be the next pilot that's going to be flying your plane. You don't know if it's going to be the next person that is going to be attending to your medical need and all of that. But with what Nigeria has become, the entire system is now more infiltrated. And the only thing that can end this is like when you see a tumor, like a cancer. The consequences of APC of 7-8 years is like this tumor. If you want to save the host, you have to cut the tumor, or the source of the tumor. Nigeria is the source of this madness. If there is no Nigeria that is feeding their greed, if everybody have to like make what they eat from every part of Nigeria and in their own independence region, right? You see this madness, it would die a natural death, because those who are carrying guns are the ones that are the agents of their fear. The real people sponsoring them, they are the holder of that power. So they said they are setting the stage for eventuality of any Southerner becoming president of Nigeria if they do your election in 2023. And this time around, it doesn't really matter. Even if na APC, Egbe member, as long as he's a Southerner, we need to set the stage and remind him. Don't try anything, no. If you try anything last one, they go chase you out of Abuja. So as Abuja is right now, the Americans are leaving, the Irish are leaving, the Irish are leaving, the Canadians are leaving, the British are leaving, and they are sending those they call that non-executive, non-essential staff. They are leaving behind emergency staff to handle emergency services only until further notice, according to Layamo. So they want to predict that they are going to attack Abuja. What is the big deal about that? Can America predict the next day, the next school shooting? And then, hey, Omoya banga. I want Eleya. Now they go take, when they kidnap people, now. Well, if they kidnap any American, within few hours, they will send in their own SWAT, Abina SWAT team. They will fish those terrorists out within hours. If they have to kill all of them, they will kill all of them and they will rescue their person. But when they kidnap you, your friends go first come on social media. Please, they have just kidnapped my brother. Please pray for us. Tag Nigerian police, tag Nigerian army, tag Lagos State governor, tag this and that on Twitter. Now from them we will say, my friend, you should be contacting them for ransom. Because nobody, if you like, you can tag the devil himself and say, at devil, they don't kidnap my brother. Tell them we don't get money. Tell them we are APC member. We support these people. We are not supposed to feel part of this pain. No. Then you go and they say we should go and bring 100 million. Now in your life, the first time you are going to type million, like from your family name. Imagine that under APC, first time you are going to type you are going to type in millions on social media in your family name is because you are talking about the ransom terrorists are asking from your family. They said we should go and pay 30 million. And you know it inside you that even if they put all your family resources, everything together with what Nigeria has done to you, 30 million, you know it. Then you start begging, please help us. So now, Americans said, we received this, and in Yoruba, as they say in Yoruba, Americans are like a Kojumari B. Gbogbo is the Ogun, which is make I no see bad thing. Now him be say you get 2 legs where they waka well. You go run, oh. Kojumari B. Ẹsẹ̀ òun lògùn. Àwọn kan sọ pé gbogbo ara lògùn ẹ̀. Baba, once your leg move, your body go follow. Sure, you know. Americans are not going to take the chances. But if it should happen, if they kidnap you and they kidnapped an American, America will be working to make sure that their old man is out. Even Nigeria will be working to make sure that that American is released. But for your own, when they want to say it in the media, they will say, Boko Haram kidnapped 1 American, Adam Smith, and 15 other Nigerians. You are others. You know that? So, Banga, Laya Muhammad, he's right too. Laya Muhammad is right too. The people that were telling us that terrorists are going to attack us, how can they not predict when there is going to be the next school shooting in America? Oshe, that's why I like my Layamo. Oyafun or Deniel or Degidiniel. When we talk about value here, if they kidnap Americans and America is looking for their citizen, even Nigeria will be joining them to look for that American citizen. They say, but hello, sorry, who are you? I am here to represent Nigeria in the search. Well, we are searching for the American citizen here. Now here, you say, yes, I'm searching for American citizen too. Say, but they kidnap other 15 Nigerians. Of course, we know that. We are working on it. Yeah, we are working on it. We are more concerned. We are more concerned about this, because we know that, because matter. Even in your media, like I said, 2 Americans kidnapped. They say terrorists kidnapped 2 Americans and 18 Nigerians. And when they start typing the list, John Smith and his wife, Mrs. Smith, they were on their way to Obudu. Oh, they are on their way to Sokoto Caliphate, and then they got waylaid and they got kidnapped. Their driver, their 8 security men, they kidnapped them. Their cook, their interpreter. They kidnapped the person, the driver of the 6 vehicles convoy they are using. But they will not name all the people kidnapped. They will say they kidnapped their driver, their cook, and their security, 18 others. You are others. 18 others. So the ways are using you to catch cruise. You they say na banga. Now true, Jarima, you can tell them. See others talking, others. Senator, Senator, we are sad to announce the sudden death of Senator Ishaya Mashaku, who died when Boko Haram terrorists attacked this convoy, and he was killed with 11 others. You are just others. Others. I'm saying this because you know what I'm saying. The people that should be so honest with you, they have been so dishonest. They have a lot to keep. And the consequences of them hiding a lot from you. When they eat the menace of Fulani terrorists, I won't forget this. When they were, when they kidnapped people in Ekiti and in Ondo, they invaded farms in especially Ekiti. Fayoshe was there. You remember that time? They caught somebody head for Ekiti. Why now? Because they said, don't come to our farm and, you cut off their head. Kilo letonye. Layamo came out and said, they are not Nigerians. They are from Niger, from Cameroon, from Chad, from this, from that. The people said, how did they get into Nigeria? The audacity to say they want to feed cow in Ekiti. Che Ekiti and Chad, then share bodani. Àbíbo ni Ṣáàdì àti àbí Níjẹ̀ àtòǹdó ti share border. Well, it was the same like Yamu saying, don't believe them. We are dealing with that. Last, they can't bring a certificate. Say, Yamu will sign your land or your life. Everybody come to wonder, say, land or life, bawo, kilagbe kileju. Waiting we carry, waiting you throw. You say these people are not from here. If somebody is from Jokoto, can't they kill somebody from Ikiti? You can't say Ikiti should give him land. How did they do that one? Everybody can't be surprised. The confusion can't last. Now, last, it increased the insecurity. It also increased the disunity, the division, the near breakup of Nigeria that we are witnessing today. So now the Americans are leaving. It don't really matter because nobody all of us get anywhere to go to. If I'm in Nigeria right now, they say Americans are leaving. These ones are leaving. That one I will say, well, save Johnny. We die here because I don't get anywhere to live to. Except say they chase me. But at the same time, you probably should also have it at the back of your mind that whatever happens in Abuja or in any part of Nigeria, just know that APC, Egbekegbe, is acting the script which will eventually guide you and shape you into that year 2023. And hopefully, if you meet that disappointment so well, you may actually help cut the tumor. APC, Egbekegbe, is that tumor that has now grown out of a mismanaged Nigeria. With them, everybody can see through the skeletal shape of the entire Nigeria. And in fact, everybody found their own space. Oh, so now here I belong, Sha. I just do shakara out this way. So now here, you know what I mean? They have put everyone in his place. And they are now trying to say, to make you look like you know well. For after seeing the light and said, well, I don't want to be part of this anymore. So they want to make you look confused, but don't be. Everything that is happening now, that will be happening, is just according to their script. For example, they want to reprint the Naira. Have you